Hey everybody, Kennis Russell here. Hope you're doing great. Today I am testing out the T9s by Xvive. These are in-ear monitors, and after years of testing literally dozens of in-ear monitors, I was surprised that I was surprised by the T9s. Check it out. So over the past few weeks, I've been testing out the T9s by Xvive. I've used them in 2 rehearsals and 2 live settings. So what I'd like to do is give my overall impressions of the T9s, then we'll dive into the specs, and then we'll conclude with who I think that these are the perfect in-ear monitors for. First of all, after testing it for 2 weeks and using it in a live setting with other musicians, other singers, playing the guitar, singing, having an in-ear mix, I was really impressed with how clear all of the instruments sounded. I could hear the bass clear. It wasn't too boomy where it overpowered other instruments. I could hear like the hi-hat, the snare really well. With vocals, I could hear every vocal coming through the mix. Guitars, acoustic guitar, electric guitar, keyboard, organ, everything just sounded very clear to my ears. It sounded effortless. It's like those sounds were delivered to my eardrums without me having to work to hear them. When I first put them on, I had to turn down the volume of my previous in-ear monitors because of the high sensitivity that these have. I didn't have to boost the volume in order to hear everything, and still was able to hear everyone effortlessly. So let me show you what comes in the package, and then we'll go over some of the specs. So right here we have what comes in the package inside the box. I've taken everything out already. It has a nice carrying case that you can keep everything in, and a little pocket right here. It has 3 sets of tips to put on the buds, a total of 6 sets of silicone tips, 3 sets in red, 3 sets in yellow, and 3 sets of foam tips. Now, the red and the yellow tips I think is a great idea. You could take the red one, put it in the right ear, a yellow one, put it in the left ear, and it's really easy to see which is your right and which is your left. But I particularly like these foam tips that they come with. These are kind of like those foam earplugs that you roll up and you put in your ears, and then they expand and totally isolate the sound from the outside. I really like the expanding foam tips because it's really able to isolate the sound, and they're very comfortable. Also in the package, there's a replaceable cord that attaches to the in-ears. So if there's ever a short in the cord or this ever goes bad, you just get a replacement. Then it also has a 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch adapter, as well as a tool to clean your in-ears with. Now, let's get right into the in-ears themselves. I'm going to pull them out of their foam packaging that they have here, and hopefully you'll be able to kind of get a good idea of what these look like here. They're put together by hand in the factory, individually gluing on the label and buffing the shell so it has a nice smooth finish. These are really good quality in-ear monitors. You can see that the shells themselves are clear, which I really like because you can see the insides of them, which doesn't affect the sound in any way, but it's really cool seeing both of the drivers inside the shell. It's probably not coming across as well on camera as it does in person, but these, just by looking at them and feeling them, have a really high quality feel to them. So let's dive into the specs of the T9s. First, they're dual balanced armature drivers. And what this means is there's basically 2 speakers in each of the buds. One speaker taking care of the low end and another speaker taking care of the high end. And there's a perfectly tuned crossover that ensures all of the frequencies have a flat response, which means there's not one band of frequencies that is overpowering the rest of them. There's no heavy bass that's overpowering the rest of the mix. It's not sharp and piercing to the ears. Everything comes across nice and smooth. It's easy to pick out all of the various instruments and vocals regardless of what frequency they're producing. The T9s deliver them to your ears very, very nicely. The frequency response indicated on the back of the package is 20 Hertz to 16.5 kilohertz, which to me, especially for a live setting, is the perfect band of frequencies to have. Now, the first thing that I noticed when I plugged these in was that there was a lot more volume that these are producing than my previous in-ears. And I had to turn the volume down about half of what it was before. And I think that the reason for that is 2 things. Number 1, it's ohms. Number 2, it's sensitivity rating. The ohms listed on the back of here is 59 ohms. And it has a sensitivity rating of 120 decibels. This is very high for in-ear monitors, which this basically means that the drivers don't have to work as hard to produce clear audio, which sounds consistent and has a flat frequency of response across all of the frequencies. So who would I recommend get the Xvive T9s? I would say any musician or singer that's serious about having good quality in-ear monitors, especially in a live setting where they can hear the detail of all of the various instruments and vocals. These really are incredible dual balanced armature drivers, and I don't think anybody would be disappointed in making an investment in good quality in-ear monitors like the T9s. So hopefully this is helpful to you in making the determination of whether you should buy the T9s as your next pair of in-ear monitors. Kennis Russell out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video.